Hi, and welcome back to A Dash of Life. Man, got a great show tonight. What a great show we had last week, man, with Donnie on there. We talked about his business and, his family and future endeavors that he's going. Sticking with the more fitness again this week with our upcoming guest. I've known him, another veteran, longtime veteran. So we're going to get him on here in just a moment. But again, I want to thank everybody for supporting the show, coming out, watching. We had a great show over the weekend with Angel, and we talked about movies and our favorite movies. So if you haven't checked that one out, go and check that one out, please, because man, it was an awesome time. Talked about our top 10 favorite movies, so go give it a watch. Uh, Thanks again for everybody coming out. So we're gonna get Larry Alspaugh on. I was stationed with him, worked in the military with him. He's now out working in fitness. He's got a lot of other uh, jobs coming up and doing great things. So I want to get him on. So let's see if we can get him coming up. Larry, if you're on there, just hit an invite to join in. Um, you guys have been keeping me going. Had some great ideas come through. I still continue to get the support for everybody watching and giving me some great ideas. So I'm working towards that. So I hope to get all those taken care of soon. So if you guys got any questions for me, always feel free to jump on, shoot the questions out. Uh, you can ask away. I'll try to answer them as best I can. If you ever have a question for the guests, feel free to ask that as well. Larry, if you're on there watching, just turn your phone this way and then jump on in there and ask for an invite. So, other things that are coming up, like I said, we've got a dash of pop again coming up next week. We've got Chris coming on. We're going to be talking about the 80s, 80s music, anything 80s. It's going to come up. So we hope you're watching that one. I've got Marcus Darby coming up again next week. We're going to be talking about his food blogging and all the restaurants that he goes to as well. And then on the 30th, I've got a really special shout out to all the teachers out there. Uh, we'll be talking with Brandy Roberts, and we'll be talking, giving some appreciation to the teachers out there. So I hope you guys will be watching those shows. So uh, if there's any ideas that you guys can come up with for shows, let me know. It's I'm how many? According to Dusty, according to the owl, it takes like three or four licks to get to the center. I'm sure of it. Hopefully, we'll get Larry on here in just a minute. Like I said, we got some teacher appreciation, and then my whole month of June. I mean, I'll have other guests on, but the whole month of June is going to be book lovers uh, month. So we'll be talking books. We'll be doing book reviews. So everything else we can get on there to celebrate book lovers. I'm hoping to get. I've got some really great guests lined up. We got Mark Damon Brooks coming back to talk about uh, some of his projects. He's got a new one that I'm excited about. If you haven't checked out, go check out his page and see what his new one's coming out. Let's see who else we've got. We've got uh, a friend of my wife's and mine who has illustrated a book that's out on Amazon. So we'll be bringing that up soon as well. So waiting on Larry. Hopefully he's out there. Larry, you got to open it up and then shoot a request to come on if you're out there watching, buddy. Chris, is you ready? Are you ready for next? Not yeah, next week. Are you ready, Chris, for the '80s? I got some great ideas for that. So if whatever ideas you got, just shoot me a message on there. And hopefully we got Larry watching. Nope. There he is. We'll get him. Casey is a doctor. He's got a PhD. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna be Larry's coming on here in just a second, so we'll get going. Yeah, I'm ready for some 80s too, Chris. So as soon as that comes on, I'll be ready to go, man. I can't believe Casey's got a PhD. I'm gonna have to congratulate him. Uh-oh. Guest decline. We're going to try this again, Larry. Hold on. Could be having some connection problems, buddy. Technology, gotta love it. You got any good ideas there, Chris, for the 80 show? Trying to get. We'll try this again, buddy. There's Hogel. Hogel's watching. Hey, Ryan. Yeah, there is so much to talk about for the 80s. We're having some technical. There we go. Let's see if we can get it going now. We'll try this one more time. Could be having some connection issues, so I hope we get this going. Like I said, Larry's been a long time buddy of mine. There he is.
There he
Holy
is. We got it.
One of these days I'm going to figure out technology, buddy. So this is a little bit easier for us to connect and everything.
Between that and my little stand I've just broke, it's having all kinds of issues.
Well, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good. Man, a long time no see.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. So living out in
Couple
Florida.
decades.
And living out in Florida now?
Yep, Central Florida. Been here since I got out in 03.
All right. Nice. I see a lot of your fitness posts, and I'm, one of the reasons I kind of got inspired to do it myself was watching some of the stuff that you did. So I appreciate that. And then I know, just knowing you from the military, just working out in the gym there and things like that, you always inspired me to do a little bit better. Even got on to me one time for having a dip in right after I got done working out. So, but
That's great.
I appreciate you for, always being there and being an influence on me on that part. So why don't you give us a little idea of what you're doing out there in Florida now?
Well, I made a transition after the COVID because, I began personal training when I got in the Air Force, actually, because I was a skinny little runt when I joined, about $165. And it was when I was in linguist school, I had a transformation. Everybody kept asking me, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? So I was basically teaching everybody how to eat, how to work out, things like that. So I enjoyed doing it. So for many moons, I did that just on the side for fun. I didn't get educated about it until once I got out, got out and became a police officer. That's when I got a little bit more serious about it and got certified. Left the law enforcement, went into firefighting, which was perfect schedule for it. So I went ahead and got professionally certified. Started my own little training business, did that on the side. And then when I left that, VA put me back through voc rehab.
Yeah.
And I went through nutrition and dietetic school, as well as exercise science. So got a degree, ended up with, I think, like 9 different training certifications, everything from boxing to yoga. And was doing that for the longest time up until COVID. And COVID kind of put the kibosh on all that.
I can imagine. Yeah, I know the kibosh stuff. Yeah, I've seen some of the boxing, man. So I mean, if you ever make a video, please send it to me because I've seen some excellent workouts from you and your son doing some great.
He's a little animal. He's a little animal. That's all he wants to do is box and MMA now.
Yeah. So fire department and law enforcement and the military, man. That's awesome. Kind of the trifecta there.
Yeah, I did all the kids' jobs, I guess you could say. Once we got out, I was over at Tampa Police for about 5 years, and that was pretty crazy because I worked the projects over there. Yeah. Ended up hurting my back pretty bad when I got into shooting, herniated all my lower vertebrae.
Oh wow! Sorry.
That put a big damper on the career, but got out of that, went to the dark side, went to firefighting, and come to find out it's not all barbecues or recliners. You actually have to work. So yeah, that was pretty tough. And the VA assigned me disability, so they didn't want me kill and break my back, so I was a private paramedic for a little bit, right. And then nutrition dietetics. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So what's Florida life like now?
Well, we were living normal life since last year. Nobody else in the country is living normal life. So Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's moving down here.
yeah. I see
So,
that.
right.
I remember a lot of good football smack talking back and forth. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes. I don't forget that. So
yeah.
Florida and OU.
No, it's good. I always appreciate it. Like I said, always appreciated. At least you were real with it. You know what I'm saying? You weren't. I'm not going to bring up any other SEC kind of fans, but at least you were real with it.
Right.
And I always enjoy the back talk back and forth between it.
Oh yeah.
I'm Oklahoma boy. I'm going to be for my Sooners, but I appreciate the good football out there with you guys.
Oh heck yeah.
And Gatlin, Anthony Gatlin's a big old Florida Gators fan too, so I kind of give him props as well. But so are you still are you training any other way, or are you? I mean, since you had a kibosh, or are you?
Well, what we had done, we were initially going to look at starting a business into COVID mitigation.
Mhm.
Um, we were going to use UV light at rays to disinfect surfaces, things like that, like they do in airplanes and
Yeah,
hospitality areas, things like that. We're going to do that on mobile level for all the people that were shut down during COVID, whatnot. But I was kind of waiting to see what was going to happen with the new presidency, what kind of sanctions we were going to have come down, because that's a big decision, And Florida went the exact opposite way, for my business. So
yeah,
we decided to put on hold for a little bit because Florida's living like there's no virus out there. So it doesn't really behoove us to start that business right now. If we were in New York or something like that, I guarantee you it would take off. But
yeah,
it's a little bit of an investment to be that iffy.
yeah. I understand. I understand.
Right.
Um, so what else you got going on? I know you were talking about some other business ventures, and I see you posting other business type things that you're involved with. Is that like just a side thing? Is that something that Larry's always been doing, or?
I like to stay busy.
Yeah,
My girlfriend just she left her medical position. She's a full-time realtor now. And she's killing it with that. She's doing great. So right now I'm kind of laying back and kind of seeing what's going to happen with the COVID, whether we want to go ahead and go through with that direction or not. I feel like that's honestly going to be a better bet out of state than it is here.
yeah,
But right now, I'm actually working for a friend of mine who's in law enforcement. I work at a little university in the safety office. But right now, I'm just kind of in a holding pattern, seeing what's going on with COVID.
yeah. I can. I it just yeah. It's put a damper on a lot of things.
It does.
My wife finally got to go back to work, and then it seems like when she's back to work now, they're on summer break because she's a teacher.
Right.
So they're getting ready to go on summer break. So it took a while for her to get back, and then I decided kind of what I did. I just decided to stay home, be a stay-at-home dad. I'm doing some teleconferences with training
Right.
and things like that. But uh, yeah, I mean it's rough, man.
It
I
is.
wish it just I mean I understand what everybody's got their feelings on it one way or another, and I wish them the best on whatever way they decide
Right.
to fall on that. But is there something you wish you could have done now that you're out instead? I mean, like you said, you did your kid jobs. What would
Yeah.
if you what's your adult job then if you're
You know what? What I really, really wanted to get into with the fitness was working with veterans, with not just disabled veterans, but with PTSD, things like that. When I was at Tampa PD, that was a big stretch from, working the flight line or working the gates and things like that, back in the day. Every 2 weeks I was in a pursuit, fight, resist, things like that. It was a pretty rough job, and got to see the worst of humanity. And, I saw a lot of my friends, with SWAT, things like that. I started to notice behavioral changes. It was one of those things I took a personal interest on as far as PTSD, the first responder depression, some of the addiction tendencies they get into and things like that. It's been kind of a personal mission of mine is working with these guys that a lot of times as a stigma, you don't talk about it. And I got into yoga as a flexibility thing for my mixed martial arts. And I found that it was just so tremendously helpful for peace of mind and inner peace that it worked wonders for me. So I
yeah
started kind of helping out my fellow friends with it, working on meditation, yoga, and things like that. And had originally proposition to the VA over at James Haley in Tampa because they outsource yoga and things like that to the local community. So I'd like to be able to do something like that, maybe put in a bid, and be able to work with, some of the wounded vets, and
Yeah.
not just that, but some of the first responders as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see you post a lot about it, and it hits me here. So I mean,
Right,
I know you know a lot, and I know a lot that have dealt with that, and I mean, in ways I deal with it as well, and sometimes I don't even know where my outlet is anymore, to be
right,
honest with
right.
you. Especially now retired,
Yep.
and I mean, I know I can go to the VA, but not all VAs are the same, and I don't want to
We're
bash
not.
them or anything, but uh, it's good to see advocates out there for the PTSD
Yeah.
and our first responders, and that goes from nurses to doctors to firefighters, everybody, and uh, it's good to see that. I mean, um, yeah, I tried. The wife and I do a little yoga.
Yeah.
Try to do at least once a week. She's dealing with some shoulder pains right now, so I'm trying to help her with some different poses.
Yeah.
I was lucky to get certified in yoga as well. Not one of
Awesome.
my not one of my favorites, but I love. I
Yeah.
mean, I do love it, but uh,
Right.
this sometimes this old boy's body just doesn't get in some of those positions.
I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I was in a class full of women that, could touch their back of their head to their heel, and I can barely touch my toes.
yeah. So yeah,
Mm.
I love the fitness aspect, and I think it helps. That's where a majority of my outlet is, as far as
Right.
dealing with things, is my fitness. I work out with my sister-in-law a lot, and it's a good
Mhm.
uh, reliever for me. So what are the future, besides maybe doing that? What else future plans does Larry have going on?
I honestly, that's kind of a passion of mine, working with, a lot of people that are suffering from depression and things like that. Because I had a pretty rough bout once I left law enforcement and whatnot. Um, I got really, really bad. 'Cause honestly, being in law enforcement over in Tampa, I got addicted to the adrenaline. The pursuit, the fights, everything is just go, 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 go. And when I left that, I found that that piece was missing. And I don't want to say it's a healthy addiction. It's not a totally unhealthy addiction,
Right.
but come to find I had a very addictive personality. So once I got out, that adrenaline, that feeling doesn't come easily. So I was constantly searching for it. So I became in some behavioral issues, some depression and things like that. And I found I was making things, I didn't realize it before I got therapy. I finally went to therapy and they were outlining my behaviors, my actions, and things like that. And they brought it to light, that why I was doing X, Y, and Z. You don't see it until somebody else points it out.
Right.
So I had kind of spiraled downhill. And actually in 2017, I'd gotten to the point where I'd actually had a suicide attempt and woke up in the hospital. And that changed a whole lot of my life.
Yeah.
So from that point on, I learned, how to deal with it, reaching out to friends, things like that. That's really been a passion of mine now on a personal level. Is a lot of people have reached out to me and talked to me, said, hey, I know you talk about this, I'm feeling this way. And I found that just that little network that we have of friends, just all it takes is one person looking out for another, and you have no idea what kind of difference you can make in somebody's life,
Oh,
possibly save it. I've had a couple of people call me when they were at their worst. And to me, that's the biggest gift right there, is how I can save their lives. So I
well,
might not be in the first responder field anymore, but I feel like it's vital now.
I appreciate you, my brother, and I'm glad that didn't happen, so you are around to do that for people.
Right.
That's a tremendous, and uh, man, like I said, you inspired me from the day I met you to you just watching and stuff on you do on Facebook. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So I thank you, brother, and I don't know how many appreciations you get from other people, but from me, you're going to get it every day. So.
I love it.
Uh,
Thank you.
uh, But well, I'm going to get you back on another show. I just wanted to
All right.
get out there in touch with you. I'm glad you're doing great out there. Any plans for future with the missus there that you're with, or is it just you
Oh
enjoying
yeah.
life?
Oh no, this one's a keeper.
Yeah.
This one
I
I can't say too much what the plans are because she's in another room listening. So
no,
she's
I
looking at me with
understand.
big eyes. You just
She
got me in
seems like a
trouble.
yeah, she seems like a wonderful person, and I see the smile on your face, bud. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
do. So
She's great. She's a great
yeah.
woman.
So
So
you keep doing what you're doing. We'll get together again. I just wanted to touch bases with you because, like I said, I this show is about people that inspire me, and I wanted to get you on to let you know just how much you do. So
that's
um,
awesome, bro.
I love you, brother, and I wish you well, and we'll get you back on for another one. Um, but you take care of yourselves.
Yes, sir.
Keep inspiring other people, my friend.
You keep up with what you're doing. I'm loving it.
All right, brother. Take
All
care of
right, man.
yourself. We'll get you on the
Yes,
next
sir.
one. All right.
All right,
All
buddy.
right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Larry. What a great talk. Yeah, he talks about some touching stuff there, and it's something that veterans and first responders have to deal with all the time. Uh, so never be afraid to talk. Never be afraid to speak out. Never afraid. Never be afraid to seek help. Uh, I love every one of you that are out there watching, and I appreciate everything that you do every day when you're watching, or when you're on your Facebook or out living your life. I appreciate every one of you. You guys just don't even know it. I did this show not just for me, but for you because you guys inspire me, and I love each and every one of you. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm glad that you guys came out to watch on a Wednesday night. Uh, so keep coming out. I love doing this show. Again, if there's any ideas that you have for shows, throw them out there at me. I'd love to hear your ideas. If there's somebody you want to get on here to highlight what they're doing, it doesn't have to be all about Dash's friends. It can be about anybody else's friends. And I want to highlight everybody and just show that life is great. And so I love you, Carla. I love you so much. Thanks for coming out and watching. Um, remember what I say every weekend or every week when I leave is just love one another, take care of one another, and I'll see you next Wednesday.